Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to be standing as a mark of respect to Carrie Davies, the wife of our former player, Jonathan Davies.
The music dies down, we're in for the team at the first opportunity. It's a match that both sides could do with winning. Warrington still going through one of the worst losing streaks in their history. Halifax Blue Sox have lost the last 7. They won here last season, but they've only won 3 of the last 13 visits to Wilderspool. And it really is one of those fixtures where points in the bag at home for Wilderspool, normally at Warrington, and points for the Blue Sox at Tremor. They beat Warrington earlier this season in a friendly and in Super League with a good kick early in the game, puts Warrington in the Blue Sox quarter of the field. And Warrington this afternoon has Halifax suffering with a whole bag full of injuries. Coach Darryl Van der Velde still putting out a fairly strong looking line-up to face the Blue Sox. And Warrington, perhaps despite a heavy defeat against the Auckland Warriors, showing one of the best performances by an English club in the World Club Championship. 2 weeks ago here, they travel over to Australia on July the 12th. And it's a good sort of switching defence for the Wolves. Jackson running out wide. It's the Sculthorpe and Breers 18 metres from halfway. And Blue Sox still in their own half. Back to Pearson for the kick. Mrs. Baldwin, and the ball will go into touch. So Halifax with their first set of 6. Pushing the ball back into Warrington territory. And their team this afternoon is Lee Penny at full-back, Richard Anara, Alessi Finau, John Roper and Mark Foster. Potential for plenty of tries in that back line. Mike Wainwright, normally a loose forward, moves into the stand-off position to partner Lee Breers. Gary Chambers, Willie Swan, Mark Hilton the front row. Tony Katupo and Richie Aird making his second appearance with a different club against the Blue Sox this afternoon. Came on as a substitute in the victory that the Blue Sox had at the Don Valley when he was on loan at Sheffield. Paul Sculthorpe at loose forward, Sean Garaitis, Warren Stephen, George Mann and Ian Nutter on the bench. And a good driving run from Chambers up towards halfway. And the ball taken just over halfway now, switch to the left-hand side, Sculthorpe, Lee Pearson, pass out to Foster, Foster putting inside. side. An intercepted try from the zone line last season to seal the game for Warrington in conditions that were far different from this afternoon. A bright summer afternoon, although there is a wind blowing towards the lower end of Wilderspool. Halifax have the first penalty for not playing the ball correctly. And Pearson finds touch. Halifax playing against the wind in the first half, probably more evident up here on the gantry than it is down on the field. And Marshall up towards halfway, look to unload. But there's three men round him on halfway. Jackson running for the short ball as a dummy runner. Allison down the middle, looks back inside to find Danny Sealer, who pressed it Eddie Lett on Wednesday in the defeat by 20 points to 18. Continues to deputise the injured Paul Rowley. Craig Dean running the angles, long ball out to Schuster. Schuster well tackled on that far side by Felicity now. Trouble, ball back inside to a man with a desperate pass from Dean. And Halifax lose ground but managed to stop in the Wolves half. David Campbell signals the last tackle. Allison throws one. I think Wolves playing alternative people making a meal of that one. Good defence by Halifax, good strong defence against Canare. They attended the Wolves Alliance defeat at Jamal on Friday night, and they're certainly walking a lot injury than he is now, so perhaps one or two injections for Richard Ryan over the weekend. That right knee heavily bandaged. Desperation play, panic for the Wolves in their own 20. Halifax quick to move in, Richie Ayres. 32 metres out from the Wolves line. Back to Sculthorpe for the kick. And Sculthorpe finds a space down behind Tuilanga. And Tuilanga was well in field there. Forster was airing down that left-hand touchline. Halifax will get possession at the scrum, and their team this afternoon is Amanga at fullback, Foresti Tuilanga, John Schuster, Dio Powell, Dave Proveng, the three quarters, Martin Pearson and Craig Dean are the half-back. Carl Harrison, Dennis Hill, Richard Marshall, Michael Jackson, Paul Lighton and Simon Baldwin, the six forwards. After the morning, Martin Moana, Jamie Munro and James Rufford on the bench for the Blue Sox. He had made it 10 metres from halfway as Dean looks for the gap, tries to go underneath. Tackling from Hilton and Swan. Pearson brings Harrison back on the inside down the middle. Tackle and Marcus to Baldwin, Baldwin against Sarah. Bolton Bruce and Baldwin. Well, he tried to get the pass away to Danny Field, who was in a good supporting position. The ball just going forward as the tackle was made. So both teams opening with some crisp flowing football. Despite the fact that they both need to win, the Halifax offside at the scrum. David Campbell, the referee this afternoon. And Lee Breers will hammer that one over to the far side of the field and put Warrington back in the Blue Sox half. 32 metres away from the Halifax line and looking for the first point for the game. First drive by Mark Hilton. And now Gary Chambers. Hilton back in the side after being out. He's injured in a testimonial game. Tries to the side of the season. There's way to charge his onto that one. Trying to a ball. Well, being knocked to ground. David Campbell has stopped the clock. There's a flurry of activity for an obstruction. The ball to Lee Breers. Who got the try? Because it's put them 4 points to 0 in the lead. And it was Roper that did the damage with that run through the Halifax defence, looking tackles aside on his way to the line. It almost looked as though he could score himself, but he unselfishly gave it to Lee Penny. For Lee Penny to crash over and put Warrington's first points on the board. It's just 10 minutes gone. And Breers, it will be, or will try and turn that ball into 6. 12 metres to the right hand side of the post. No problem for Breers. Through the middle. And the Wolves lead after 10 minutes. 6 points to nil. So it's the start that the Wolves needed. With a penny try and a brief conversion. Possession. In the run out of the field, in the sprint, in the mistake. And there's a mistake there for Halifax, which will mean they will drop out from under their own post. And they will be put back immediately under pressure by the Wolves' attack. So that's the sun in the eyes, and that one from Pearson is not by much distance against the wing that Halifax are playing against. And Chambers is allowed to take it back with a storming run into the Halifax quarter. With a time out for Warrington, and it's going to be Celeste thrown out. The first ball out for Warrington, loose defended against the Halifax. 2 points in a minute. The mistake again coming behind the line, and Pearson didn't get much distance with a kick. Chambers took the first drive, and from Chris Samuel on the far side pushed Celeste out. Amy for the Wolves' second try in a minute. And Breers, this one more difficult. It's on the right side for him, the right-footed kicker. But Warrington have gone 10 points to 0 in the lead. They've suffered some big defeats here of Halifax in the past. And Breers, as he keeps sticking on back, maybe helping Warrington to another one. The increases the lead into 12 points to 0.
The conversion is.
So, we've got Warrington just 14 minutes to take a 12 points to 0 lead. No mistake that time behind the line. But Halifax up against it, the sun in their eyes, playing against the wind, and playing against a very determined Warrington defence. 3 tacklers on Michael on the 10-metre line. Harrison with a step out of defence. Wants it playing quickly. Jackson taking up the running. And it's good yards made by Michael Jackson down the middle of the field. Switch field back to the left-hand side, but ball all wrapped up. Good tackling by Chambers and Sculthorpe. Back to Pearson for the kick. Gets Sculthorpe out of the way. Pearson down behind an RX, finds the touch. We go with the kick now from Pearson. The Wolves back in their own half. And Breers to feed Warrington's scrum. Is to win the second one. And Penner has really got the power of the forward, coming in from fullback, makes it over the 20. Tony Katupu. Sent to Warrington from the Auckland Warriors. Halifax thought they'd signed him at the start of the season, but Maurice Lindsay intervened and said he was a Warrington man. Looked to a short ball from Sculthorpe, and Ailes was looking round for support, and it took 3 men to put him down 5 metres inside the Halifax half. Breers, dummy, goes inside. Still for the high tackle, Sculthorpe, the kick towards the corner, putting the pressure on, forced to chasing after it, but Amanda letting it run over the touchline. Well, no doubt the Wolves will be brimming with confidence now. Halifax already have the 4 subs warming up on the bench. But that's the threat from John Penrubbery. If one or two of these Halifax players don't get into the groove pretty quickly, there's 4 men there waiting to come on and replace them. Dio Powell pushes away one. Look for the support, nobody is taking the invitation for the pass. Paul Ayton. But Warrington doing a good defensive job containing Halifax. Now Jackson again, charging forward, but Warrington offside. And Pearson will get the chance to put Halifax back in the Wolves' half again. Putting plenty behind it against this wind. Only makes 12 metres into Warrington territory, and Bullbank will take the first run. There's a flash of edge, score to get up, good running by Allison, Halifax captain, full speed towards that Warrington line. Now Marshall, the other Halifax prop, and his run taking in ever near that Wolves line, sealed back. Plan move from Halifax here, Dean out to Amanga. No option for Amanga, has to go back inside. Still on his feet, Sculthorpe finally wraps him up 5 or even 4 metres away from the Wolves line. Dean goes to the short side, where Powell's waiting. There's all sort of a mix-up. There's going to be a knock-on. Well, Dean trying to use the big centre Powell on the short side. Warrington moving the defence across quickly. Powell tried one out the back with the one hand, but nobody waiting for it or wanting to take it. Results in a knock-on and the pressure off for Warrington. The Breeze will feed the scrum. Chambers receiving attention. I think he had a clash of edge with Bullbank on the first tackle in that set of 6, and Sculthorpe was only just put down with Baldwin, and Halifax down to 12 in defence as Amanda slow to get to his feet. And Warrington keeping it alive. Chances here, but the ball filled up. Taking the first knock on, no advantage to Halifax. Ball topped up by Mike Wainwright, stand off. Going on the charge. Perhaps he was a little forward then. Again. Dean Pearson on the angled run. But 2 now, pushing hard and square. They push Pearson back now to Ilanga. 2 now in again, but to Ilanga to tackle out to Dean. Dean on to Powell. Powell, this is an air 2 and gets it inside to Amanga. Amanga goes off on his own. Well, Halifax back where they started from Dean's pass. The steal goes to Maxton out, wrapped up by the full. 30 metres out from the Wolves line. Allison in the action half position onto Baldwin. And Baldwin makes it to the 20. Field to Dean. Dean out to Pearson. Paul Ayton. Linking up well with a centre. Great ball from two-setter Jackson. Tuilanga coming inside. Trying to spin out of the tackle. Back in the Wolves red zone. But it's the last tackle. Dean kicks one through on the floor away from Penny. And Penny will let it run dead. No pressure from the chasers. Long will kick from Dean. Well intended kick. And now wanting to come away quickly because Halifax players are still coming back into position and trying to make 17 metres with a run. Ball set, stepping, it's the match to our Jackson. Doing enough with a tap around the ankles and then hanging on. Sculthorpe goes forward, sitting over the top on Sculthorpe. And 1 or 2 Warrington supporters not after. One Penny, down the middle, against the Manga, stopping. Still has to bring him down over it, tackle 8 metres out. Halifax needs to get back quickly. Looked like a nudge forward there. As Foster picks it up off the ground. Well, it looked like there may have been a nudge at the play of the ball, but Warrington still with the pressure. Greers will throw out the long punt. And a 3-2-1. Quick right to Roper. Roper stopping inside. Amanda doesn't have the strength to stop him. And Halifax don't have the awareness to stop Roper. They're right behind the play. So it's in the lead to 16 points to 0. Roper with a 3-1, but Roper with the strength and the speed to get round Halifax fullback Amanda, and then go behind the post to make this Breers a simple kick in front, which will surely extend the lead to 18 points to 0. So far a 20-minute nightmare for Halifax. 18-0 down after 20 minutes. But Warrington really are throwing the ball about. And Breers successful with his third conversion. Makes 18 points.
Conversion of the Satisfied by SB Chris.
Well, the Wolves have only won 4 games this season, but it looks as though they may be on the way to the 5th. The ball kicked into touch between Powell and Amanga. Halifax have won 7 of their 16 Super League matches, and Warrington needing the 2 points despite being 4th and bottom before this afternoon's result. Not out of the possible relegation scrap as we go towards the end of the season. Halifax may be safe, and John Pendlebury is hoping his team could still aspire to a top 4 position. But the performance so far this afternoon doesn't suggest that, and it's going to need a very big effort to come back from this 18-0 deficit. Harrison trying to lead by example 18 metres from halfway. Michael Jackson, who's been a willing runner for Halifax in the opening quarter of the game. Dean with a kick on the 5th tackle. Pushes it around the back. Eager Tuesday. If he gets half a chance, Foster wants him to go to that side of the field. And the lads then Tuesday at the first attempt. But Tuesday getting back to make the tackle. But even though Nani went 50 metres sideways, he still made a good 25 metres forward and finished up on the other side of the field. Stevens, who's come on for Warrington. So Van der Velde spelling his forward. And from the pictures you've seen of the Wolves coach, I don't think he's smiled yet this season. So there was reason to so far. It's all going well for the Wolves. Lee Breers got from St Helens for 65,000 at the start of the season. Skullthorpe over the top, and it's fallen right for him. He's getting it out of the air, and then he's lost possession. Well, he's on the fly then. He's going to it through. There's going to be a goal. Now they're kicked to the V. Clears up on the Halifax line. Well, Warrington supporters complaining that one was obstructed. But I think Halifax supporters complaining that Skullthorpe was actually on his back when he passed the ball. Heighton away to Amanga. He's caught again midfield by Willie Swan. Jackson wants to run it up again into Stevens and Breers. Harrison off the short ball, turned it far down. Good tackling by Katufu. Just short of halfway. Pearson goes for the gap himself, but it's not there. The wall of defence in blue shirt. Back to Dean, last tackle, kick again to Anara. And the lead to play close attention as Anara uses Roper as the foil. Bit of obstruction, zero tackle. Now it's Roper. He's tackled 10 metres from halfway. Forster not seeing enough of the ball and comes looking for it. And he can't make many yards. Full rated traffic in the middle of the field. Wainwright up to halfway. Seal and Allison rolling him over. Trying to keep the Wolves in their own half. Hilton. He's brought down by Paul Light just inside Halifax half. Sculthorpe kicking it. Came off Halifax play. It's got a kick for Katupo. It's Katupo. Sets the man where he's under the post. So a kick with Katupo in that track for Warrington. The ball is just Katupo when Sculthorpe gets through. But Katupo is still being tackled from 4 metres out. So the still single attack to move to tackle for New Zealand forward. It's the very best of the way through. So he moves to Halifax's number 8 and extend the Wolves lead to 22 points to 0. And that score will increase even further, I'm sure, with the kick from Breeze in front of the post. And that is another success to add to the 3 he's already kicked. One of the favourites for the top 4 place in Super League, despite the fact that we got rid of so many players at the beginning of the season. They failed to come up with a good so often this season, but they've come up with him this afternoon. Richie Edge to go all over Bullman. Paul Light pushes away Swan, but have Stevens and Tatupa on the back of him. Moana up to the 30. Wants to play it quickly. Danny Seal will go to match it out and makes good yards up towards halfway. And Halifax really desperate for a reply. Dean finds out the gap. Stevens as well to drag him down by the back of the shirt. The last tackle again. And Halifax is 10 metres inside the Wolves' half. Pearson, Oyswan up in the air, hanging in the wing. No pressure on Lee Pennington. It'll come back for Halifax. Jackson out to Bullven. Bullven steps inside, but good scrambling defence from Warrington. And the rabbit punch from Penny on the back of Bullven. Now Dio Powell up to within 4 metres of the Warrington line. Halifax looking for the first point. Steele trying to get him, and he's brought down a metre short. And again, Halifax go on the short side, almost going underneath. That side Powell again, Pearson out to Dean. It's Dean tries the football skills. And he bounces up to the man there, and Halifax lose 17 or 18 metres with the pressure of that Warrington defence. Big tackle again, Dean over towards Anani in the corner. Baldwin, good pressure from Baldwin on Richard Anani, but he said he's caught it in goal. Well, I'm not too sure about that decision. But that really the first real pressure that Halifax have put on the Wolves. Penny the first man to drop the ball. And it seems to be a quick set of pass for Halifax as he went towards the line. Dean putting Nani under good pressure. But Warrington bringing it away again and up towards halfway already with Willie Swan. Swan for Forster. By Hayden, 12 metres inside Halifax half. Mixed up at the back. That came off a Warrington player, which they do. It's the only advantage you've had so far in this game. Pearson to Schuster. Schuster to Amanga. The good pressure again, this time to Wainwright. Bullbank up to matching out. Not quick enough to get away. Jackson. Turned upside down and tackled well by Mark Hilton. Moana up the middle of the field, up towards halfway. Allison doing well to keep hold of that one. Back to Trey Jean. Trey Jean can't get away. Oh, makes you wonder how much Warrington have put into defence, how much perhaps it may affect the performance in the second half. But at 24 points to nil, I don't think there'll be two unduly worried. Lee Penny brings it out, and then he's forced back over his own goal line. So Halifax will get possession, but the kick to come from under the post. May the wind assisted and travel so further than Halifax needed to travel. The strength of the wind indicated by that drop out from Pearson, which resulted in the Wolves' second try. He made only 30 metres. And Blaze will kick out from under the post. Into Halifax territory, where the Manga takes his time with it before picking it up and takes it back over into the Warrington half. Jackson charging onto that one, but Campbell listened to the supporters who said it was a forward pass. That's a look to, no, he made a break then. It was pulled back by David Campbell for the forward pass. So the Wolves will get possession again. Sculthorpe brings Anari on the inside. But he's met by Harrison and Michael Jackson breaking off the scrum. Mark Hilton putting some good runs against the Halifax defence. Willie Plum from action half. Takes it back into Blue-top territory. And Richie Hayes get his run off with 10 metres inside the Wolves half. And he's made a big game for the Wolves back towards the Halifax try line. Wainwright to Breers to Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe running into trouble. Big it to Marison Jackson. His tackle. Breers. Crossfield kick towards Tuilanga. Under pressure from Forster. It's Tuilanga. Going to be glad, I think, just to keep hold of the ball and make it safe. Amanga. Tuilanga on the outside, but again Tuilanga's tackled, but this time he's made 15 metres. And off to Ramone, his first touch, come on for Halifax. Dean to Moana. Moana looks inside and finds Baldwin, but Baldwin manages to stand up, looking for somebody to pass to, and then Breers and Swan combining to put him down. Moana to Dean, Halifax using the expansive game. Schuster showing a bit of pace. Outside to Tuilanga. Tuilanga against Penny. Tuilanga stepping Penny coming inside. Tuilanga just managing to reach out. Halifax finally get on the scoreboard, but not before a heart-stopping moment for Halifax supporters. Tuilanga looks as though he's slowed down. Cut inside Lee Penny, and Lee Penny managed to get hold of Tuilanga just tall enough to reach out, put the ball down over the line, and Halifax have finally got on the scoreboard, coming up towards half-time. Tuilanga's 10th try of the season, and it cuts the lead to 24 points to 4, but it was Schuster who set him up with a pitching against the wind. Halifax will have that behind them in the second half. Warrington will play against the Sun. So this perhaps the signal of Halifax's improving fortunes in this game. So they need to improve rapidly to cut down this lead. Well, 2 points from Schuster with the aim of the post. Is Halifax. Hope. And now an 18-point deficit to catch up. Richie Hayes making no attempt to go for that ball. And lets it go into touch. Warrington with the possession at the scrum. Which, as you would expect, they've won. Wainwright against Pearson and Schuster. to Tupu, coming inside. Now Mark Hilton, 20 metres from halfway. And Warrington have decided, just for the moment anyway, to keep it close, but they're making their way back towards halfway. Better effort in defence from Halifax. The Schoolthorpe puts the kick down deep into Halifax territory, and the bounce will make it go dead or allow it to run over the touching goal. They'll come back for the tap on the 20. And Halifax will hope to turn something up, which may come up with another try before half-time, although it's very close to the 40. And after the moment, it's brought down 10 metres from halfway. Simon Baldwin wrapped up by Ayres around the top and Swan around the bottom. Carl Harrison off the short ball. Swan and Ayres again involved in the tackle. Harrison gets over halfway. Dean looking out to that right hand side again. Pearson to Schuster. Schuster quick forward down this time by the Warrington defence. Fifth tackle. Pearson goes to the air again. This one high in the air. Forcing Breers back on Anari. Mistake from Anari. That will go down as a knock on surely. Well, David Campbell says not. Well, a knock on everybody else's book. As well. Jackson stopping Roper. And now they're going to match it out. Well, in fact, Mayfield, a chance gone there. As Anari knocked on. Went for the ball. Forster goes under Milana. And Baldwin wrestles him down just short of halfway. Warrington this afternoon without the Super League top try scorer Nigel Vagana. Banned for 2 matches. For getting Paul Farber up on his head at Salford last week. With Kelly Shelton, who was fined £150, but he's not playing this afternoon. Breers kicks through. Ball into touch on the far side of the field. Not long to go to half-time. And Dean will waste no time in feeding the scrum, getting the action back underway. Manga stepping inside. Penny come across to hammer his opposite number after Wainwright had gone downstairs to stop Manga. Simone against Ayres, and Ayres getting a little bit frustrated, I think, that Amoni had managed to push him away. Now Moana. And Moana up towards halfway. Made a few selling runs in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Martin Moana. Jackson gets it away to Danny Teal, and Danny Teal is allowed to make another 10 or 12 metres there because the Warrington players thought the tackle had been made on Jackson. And we're all already moving into the defensive position. Schuster out to Tuilanga. The numbers over there on that far side. Belton goes in the 2-man tackle. Tuilanga complaining to the touch kids on the far side. Well, the touch kids getting the better of David Campbell on that occasion. Tuilanga complaining that the ball has been reached out by a Warrington player. He's actually given the knock on against Warrington as Moana comes up from the back of the scrum. Away from Martin with a stop. Inside super. Halifax is centre under the post of Martin Moana. Well, it's got Halifax deficit down to 14 points, and Moana has done that on numerous occasions from the back of the scrum. There were 2 men on him as he broke away, but Moana had such strength but he was able to force his way through the 2 Warrington would-be tacklers and over for Halifax's second try. And Schuster with this conversion to half the Warrington lead. It's 24-12, no problem in front of the post. Well, perhaps that could be justice for when Halifax thought that Anari had lost possession. And Halifax should have had 6 more tackles. And Moana has come up with some big plays since he's come on, and he's come up with a big try there for Halifax. Took the lead to 12 points. The sound of the hooter for Warrington. And really being up against it since Mark got their act together. Warrington went into a 24-point-0 lead with tries from Penny, Fino, Yoka and Katupo. Some weak tackling from Halifax, a couple of mistakes that allowed Warrington the advantage from the position. Breers converted all four, but Halifax didn't let their eggs go down. They came back, and the comeback they started with a try from Tuilagi in the 35th minute. Kilster needing the left-hand post, knocked the ball over, and Milano with a try just before half-time, which Kilster converted again. Halifax have the win and the sun at the back of them for the second half, and must be a lot happier with the way. Just 10 minutes ago, half-time.
This is my other this is coming from Friday's game against the League behind those he's not on television. With the satellite, this is the problem. Sponsored by Folks, Mr. Mark Page, Rappaport Warrington. Donate to this page, we will be to future of the week. Walking around slow enough, 639, the ball will go with all the way up to the last line. Happy birthday today to Matthew.
Second half about to get in the way, will the Spurs. Halifax allowed Warrington 24 points before they started to play, and two tries converted in the last 10 minutes. Took the lead to 24 points to 12, and Halifax will have this strong win at their back in the second half. And Tuilagi was just brought down by Swan. A try scorer for Halifax, Tuilagi, 10th of the season. Harrison playing risky football, and Amanga managed to find it back. Hughes puts a hole in the defence. Support, Hughes goes on. Hughes wants to get up and play it. He couldn't get the pass away. The support was there from Milano. With the ball had to come out. Pearson, Halifax looking for the early point. Pearson opting to keep hold of the ball and take the tackle 30 metres out from the Warrington line. Milano looking to get it away, but there were three men in there, and the ball came out on the Warrington side. So it's an error that Halifax didn't want to make. That's 4. The Warrington 2. Very few handling errors, but conditions a lot different to those at Edinburgh on Wednesday, when it rained continually throughout that game. And Halifax strong in defence on that far side of the field. Now back inside with the forward. Mark Hilton taking it up towards halfway. Tough tackle back to Sculthorpe for the kick. Burton Bulben back. Sculthorpe the first man there. Bulben losing his footing after he'd lost his boot. Amanga all the way back to Sculthorpe, gives it to Amona. Big shout to forward from Amanga. If Amona gets it away, panic touching again for Halifax. They need to settle it down. And I'm sure John Fennery will tell them that in the half-time break, and he will also tell them to tighten up the defence. Spent most of the first 40 minutes heading left in defensive mode and made a good job of it, and on the night perhaps deserves to win. Hotly disputed, disallowed try from Baldwin. Milano hoists that one down deep into Warrington territory. A This is Warrington back towards their own line. Moana taking advantage of the wind that is blowing in Halifax's favour. So Warrington is edging the scrum, 6-5. 3 now back on the inside and brought down just short of the Wolves 20-metre line. Penrith warming up. Halifax subs on that far side of the field again. Halifax tightening the defence up on the field with Powell and Moana. And again, good solid defending. Jackson and Powell combining well. Sculthorpe back inside to Swan. Could be danger here. Wainwright looking for a way around the outside. But brought down 2 metres from halfway. Stevens getting up the charge back into the blue top card. Good tackling for Harrison and Baldwin. 5th tackle. Swan down the touchline. And Bouveng not taking any chance with the awkwardly bouncing ball. As it goes into touch on the far side of the field. Very few penalties in this game. So far, 12 scrums, which Halifax have now won 6. And Powell brought down 10 metres away from the Halifax line. Moana stepping back inside, down on one knee, and then taken all the way down by Warren Stevens and Lee Penny. Danny Field going for matching half and making 10 metres. Good tackling from Wainwright. Moana in action now. Harrison charging forward, making 15 metres back towards halfway. Danny Field inside to Dean. Dean to Jackson. Jackson running strongly again, but not the weight to push off 3 tacklers. Ball comes loose. Referee will be Halifax to penalty. Warrington supporters not happy about it. Well, it'll lead a look at the video replay on that one to see just how that ball came out. But it was in Halifax's favour, and Bouveng will take the first run with a wall of Wolves defenders in front of him. Dean to Amone, he'll drive it forward. Good ball off to Baldwin, but good defence from Warrington. 3 men in there. Penny off with a scrum tap. Dean to Jackson. Trying to come back inside to Tupu and Shelton. Sculthorpe the tacklers. Dean to Pearson. Pearson out to Schuster. Schuster trying to put Amanda in the back. Amanda to Tuilanga. And Tuilanga will get his 11th try on the season for Halifax. A double this afternoon for Halifax winger. Well, it was inevitable that would happen. Halifax have used Baldwin, Jackson and Amore down the middle, and they stuck in the Warrington defence. Amanga was there as a dummy runner. Schuster out to Tuilanga. And 7 minutes of the second half gone, and Halifax right back in it with a lead cut to 24 points to 20. Well, in the time they're not put 2 tries on, but it's 24 points to 16. Schuster's first failure, but it's a try that Halifax needed to put them within 8 points of Warrington. And it's 7 minutes into the second half, and there's some there is a big hit there from Harrison and Baldwin. Well, it's rattled Chambers, but very slowly after that tackle did the Wolves stop. Well, it's coming away. Good hit by Amone. Stevens allowed to unload the ball. Amone has a second go. That's Tony to Tupu. 3 now down the short side. Schuster up to the task in defence. Wainwright to Stevens. Schuster again thrown himself into the tackle. Woodfield just inside the blue top half. Big tackle, they look for Skulthorpe against the kick. Down behind Dean, but Dean has time to stop it with his feet. Long pass inside to Amanga. Well, Halifax do that on so many occasions. It went against him on Wednesday at Eddie Lake when Tuilangi spilled the ball, and it signalled a Leeds comeback. Halifax are back up towards halfway. Steele loses it backwards, and it bounces Stanley. Baldwin tries to take advantage up the middle of the field, and it's just an ankle tackle from Skulthorpe, who's top one on the edge and stop Baldwin. Craig cutting back inside, trying to get the pass away to Baldwin. But that one went forward, and I think 1 or 2. Just losing the plot out there a bit. David Campbell's going to have a word with 1 or 2 players. I think he's going to draw out Baldwin and Penny. But, well, Breers has been pulled out. Campbell doing the right thing. Because, it's certainly heated up a bit with this match. 24 points to 16 Warrington lead. And we'll get the possession at the front and bring it away Wainwright. Could be trouble for Roper. Met by Amori, big tackle back to Amori. Oh, Jonathan Roper. Roper went looking for support. Swan out to Wainwright. Wainwright gets it away. It bounces timely and Breer throws out a risky pass. And I don't think Skulthorpe will thank Breer for that pass. As now Warrington seem to be panicking a little bit. Inari inside, Perkins loose, reach out of referee Campbell. Well, question over that one perhaps. Campbell making that decision on his own without the assistance of the vocal Warrington supporters. And there's a few more here this afternoon than there has been so far this season, because they haven't had the best crowd. Halifax on the defensive again. Stevens takes it up to within 30 metres of Halifax line, and it's brought out the vocal support again from the Warrington supporters. If they get to within 20 with Wainwright. Breers throws it in, it goes himself, brought down 12 metres out under the Halifax post. Looking for the quick place one to Skulthorpe. Skulthorpe throws out the long ball. And now it kicks through. And Jackson behind his own line will clear it dead. And force the drop out. And again it Warrington supporters. Warrington have made another change. Stevens, I think, coming back on for Warren Stevens. And Mark Hilton back on for Warren Stevens. Well, Van der Velde must be encouraged so far by his side's performance. So at 24 points to 16, Leeds looking a little bit precarious. As Patupu drives it back towards the Halifax line. But then this running from the former Auckland Warrior. Now Forster. He's brought down 15 metres away. And Warrington fencing perhaps has more points. If they can get their act together here near the Halifax line. Halifax defending strongly. Swab to Breers. Long ball out to Skulthorpe. Stepping inside, trying to go under the tacklers. Of which there's 2, Moana and Amanga. Swab from action half towards that corner. O'Reilly coming inside. He's brought down 2 metres out. Big tackle. Halifax. They're looking, sure, offside there. Bournemouth went over with the ball, but still in offside position. Warrington supporters going and jeering, but never any doubt there. Skulthorpe kick perfectly timed, and it bounced up timely. But Chambers, 3-yard offside as that kick was made. So Pearson allowed to launch that ball and make 35 metres with a penalty back towards halfway. Bouveng. takes the first run, plays it very quickly. Harrison, charging on strongly, up towards halfway. Halifax playing it quickly again, with after Ramone. Ramone with 2-3 round him, still failing to go on the floor. He wants to play it quickly. Craig Dean running around the outside, and Finau and Wainwright have no problem in wrapping Craig Dean up. So Lange brought down, 5th tackle again. Looking for Pearson for the high kick. Well, Pearson's opted to go for the touchline and find a good touch, which will put the scrum down 10 metres away from the Warrington line. Perhaps feeling that the wind didn't justify a high kick. But Nare and Penny already been putting the pressure in the first half with those high kicks. Not so on that occasion, and a manga all over Sculthorpe. Forster, and a manga again in there. Warrington supporters trying to sway David Campbell. Richie Ayres, hit by Jackson, put to ground. Good defensive effort by Halifax for the first 3. Halifax polarised. And accusations from Jackson and Moana, with Mark Hilton. Now Chambers. Pearson, hands on rolling up, but Chambers gets the ball away. Up to Forster. Forster against Tuolangi. Tuolangi not taking a backward step. Warrington go forward again with Finau. Finau towards the Halifax line. Takes 3 men to put him down. Breers stepping. Turns, long pass out to Wainwright. Wainwright in trouble. Moves to Stevens. Stevens running into trouble. Brought down by Moana. 10 metres out. Warrington attack. Ground throw out momentarily. Sculthorpe over the top to put Tuolangi under pressure. Right behind his own line. Forster was there. But Tuolangi equal to that kick from Sculthorpe, which was well played. And Halifax will bring it away again with Bulbeck on the first run. But again, Warrington moving in quickly on defence. Jackson looking for a way down the middle. Steps inside, he can't get away. Steele to Dean, in a long pass out to Pearson. Schuster to Tuolangi, and Tuolangi getting caught up. As Finau took out Schuster. Still Schuster on the ground. I think he's setting up for the shoulder. And Tuolangi also taking a knock as he struggles to his feet. Halifax don't want to lose him. 2 sides to far this afternoon. Dean to Moana. And Moana with 3 men all round in middle of the park. Put down eventually. And Mark Hilton, I'll get it, Mark Hilton it was, who had a second go while Moana was on the ground. 5th tackle, Halifax still in their own half. Warrington doing well defensively. Pearson drops one over the back towards Anare. Chasers need to move up now. Anare brings it away. And Anare blessed with pace, but Dean blessed with a skill to bring Anare down. Paul Lighton being penalised, and so that will relieve the pressure for Warrington for now with another penalty. Around the 20-minute mark in this second half. All the score so far, that second try from Tuolangi. And Warrington bringing 2 the 8-point lead, 24-16. Giving away a silly penalty and giving away possession. Forster from acting half, down the middle into Harrison and Steele. Makes it over halfway. Swan out to Wainwright. Wainwright to Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe out to Roper. And Roper easing it to Bulbeck on that far side. Forcing him into touch. Certainly the strength and the pace of Roper if he gets the chance, but not given any by Dave Bulbeck. Another scrum goes Halifax's way. Pearson to Amanga. spending more time up in the line, trying to make a little bit of an extra man advantage. Is a manga. Too long he throws it quickly. Get the penalty. Warrington in the shape of Mike Wainwright, returning the favour, surrendering easy possession by conceding the penalty. Which is put into touch, 30 metres out from the Warrington line. And so Halifax will go looking for the second try of this second half. And look to cut a hole into that Warrington lead. Paul Lighton running off to AD, but no room for him. Good tackling by Fee now. Danny Field will have to go on his own. Gets away from Mark Hilton. But not from Richie Ayres. Baldwin in the action half position to Dean. Pearson, Jackson the dummy runner. Appeals for the obstruction. But Jackson was a long way off Pearson. Last tackle. Moana to Dean. Dean looked for the chip through. Got it away as he was going down, but too much weight behind it. No touch and go. So the Wolves will come back to the 20-metre line with a tap. Not so many mistakes this afternoon. Halifax made 5, Warrington have made 3 in the ambulance department. And Pearson penalised for not making square that they play the ball. And Blears hammers it into touch just inside the Halifax half. Warrington still looking to add to their 24 points that we scored in the first 26 minutes. And Halifax looking to hold them out and put into that 8-point lead. Good run by Chambers. 25 metres out from the Halifax line. Wainwright running the angles. Gets the pass away to Sculthorpe. But Sculthorpe all wrapped up by Powell on the Halifax 20. And Arek ducking under the first tackle. Ball comes loose, but Warrington get another penalty. Well, the decision to come. The decision is that Warrington will go for the point in the shape of a try rather than the two. Lee Blears down the step. Good tackling from Jackson, who was round the ankles, Baldwin round the top. Richie Ayres off the short ball. Crossing towards that line. Did he get his arm out? No. The Warrington supporters thought Ayres was over then. Willie Swan caught. Has to turn it back to Blears. Shows it. Out to Mark Hilton. Perhaps the wrong man in that position. He needed a speed man to try and make the break. Hilton having trouble getting to his feet. Blears turns it back inside to Tututu. But the pass was forward to David Campbell. So Halifax breathe a sigh of relief again. They've done well in defence as Warrington have brought it forward in this second half into the blue sock quarter of the field. The pass this time comes from Blears helping Halifax out. James in the back of the stump. Won't be near enough to get the pass through. Pearson moves into the action half position and goes on his own. Pearson has done well to make 20 metres out of that run. Bit of interference there as he's trying to get up and play the ball. Bouvet. Ball comes loose. Halifax get it back. David Campbell and Titan in that occasion, I think. And Anara took an exception to it as he carries on over the top of Bouvet. And Halifax will get the penalty. Well, I don't think David Campbell saw the first incident. Thankfully for the Blue Sox, he saw the second. And Anara was penalised. And the Blue Sox will take it back into the Wolves half of the field with Dio Powell. Carl Allison loses possession. Warrington a chance to counter-attack with Roper. Well wrapped up by Jackson, appeals for the high tackle again. Well, Michael Jackson's been driving his luck a little bit with a tackle, but quite legal for referee David Campbell. And he thinks that one of the two players might lose the temper on this Warrington side. They're getting very frustrated. Ball comes loose, it's a knock on. Lee Brewer's another one now, losing his temper with David Campbell. And the hand signal from Carl Harrison says it all. Carry on talking. After he's returned to first team rugby to be replaced by George Mann, who's been on loan from Leeds. That deal possibly being made permanent this week. A manga down the middle, but met head on by Lee Penny. Opposite number, Jackson, being used out wide as a centre, but also being used for tackling practice by the Warrington defence. Paul Ayton has three men round him and makes it to within 10 metres of halfway. Craig Dean back inside to Harrison, does well to keep hold of it, Harrison, and then he's thrown to the ground just a metre short of halfway. Seal to Dean, turns it back inside to Pearson. Pearson running across the field, throws a dummy. Pearson going forward, stepping. Good run by Pearson, still got out of the tackle. Tremendous play by Halifax stand-off. Moana with strength and support. Moana might not need it, but he's going forward. Then he gets it to Amanga. Amanga wants the support. Then on that far side for Jackson. Jackson doesn't need the support. He's going over for Halifax for 10 side of half. But it was down to Martin Moana. Sheer strength and brute force following on that run from Pearson, which tied the Warrington defence in knot. Amanda again showing strength, able to get the ball out in the tackle, and Jackson had four men outside him, didn't need him as he stepped back inside two Warrington defenders to cut the lead to 24 points to 20. Another 2 points for Schuster, another 2 points for Halifax, and the lead cut to 24 points to 22. And looking at a grandstand finish to this match, Warrington totally in control at 24 points to 0 after 26 minutes. But now Halifax back in contention at 24 points to 22. And so often this season, Halifax have had the big lead and let it slip. They did it at Headingley on Wednesday when they were 18 points to 2 in front. They're looking to reverse that trend this afternoon. They've had the wind at the back in the second half. And they've scored 2 tries, one which is converted by Schuster, and it's brought them right back into this game as force is brought down going up towards halfway. Sculthorpe to Wainwright, Wainwright back to Sculthorpe, bit of a gap for Sculthorpe, kick and chase, referee will play on, mistake by Powell at the back, but manages to keep hold of it, referee says knock on. Well, Powell made a play for it and slipped off the ball. It looks as though he pulled it back towards him, but this could be a crucial moment for Halifax with the mistake from Powell. Warrington looking to secure the 2 points. Halifax need a big effort in defence. Breers from the back of the scrum, brought down 7 metres out. So Halifax have defended strongly all this second half when Warrington have been in this position. Mistake from Anara, possession still up to Halifax. So Halifax breathe a sigh of relief, but needs to be at the end of the field. Tuilanga, 2 tries for Halifax to score this afternoon. Danny Seal finding a bit of a gap. He's falling to It's a two-pool tackle. Harrison. Slowed down a little bit in the latter stages. Halifax captain Paul Hyton. Head on into Gary Chambers. Another two Warrington defenders there to join Chambers. Moana feels again for the forward pass. Well, David Campbell listens to the supporters again. As Simon Baldwin goes off to be replaced by Afrimona. So another mistake from Halifax gives Warrington the possession. 24 points to 22, less than 5 minutes to go. Sculthorpe this time from the back of the scrum. To George Mann. Forster up to McNair. The man that broke Halifax's spirit last season with that 90-yard interception try. Wainwright to Finau. Finau manages somehow to keep all of it and get it away to Tutu. To Swan. Swan to Ricky Ayres. And Ayres brought down by Ammonia and Hyton. 12, 13 metres out from the Halifax line. Breers going on his own again, then gets it back to Swan. Lee Penny joining the line. Swan goes back again to join in the procession of passes. Tutu really go for his second. Quick tackling by Harrison Amanga. Right in the Halifax post. One tackle to hold out. Lots of Warrington men there. Breers with a drop goal. Well, it's only given Warrington another one time, but it might reach enough time up on the clock for the Wolves. Halifax will get possession. Well, I make it about 2 minutes to go for Warrington to kick off. And they're not going to be in a rush. David Campbell has decided to stop the clock. So it might come down in the end to a kicking chase from Halifax if Warrington can keep them for 5 tackles in their own half. And Breers it is with the kick. Harrison under the post, takes it for Halifax and brings it back out towards the 20, gets it to Amanga, and Amanga to Powell. Powell pushes off the first man, out to Jackson playing in the centre position again, takes it towards halfway. Halifax with 5 tackles to go. Moana had a big game this afternoon for Halifax, makes it just inside the Wolves half. Halifax needed the tie to seal this game. Steele to Dean. Dean running into trouble and being forced back 5 yards. Good tackling from George Mann. Pearson decides to go on his own. Warrington defenders there though, slows him down. Paul Hyton from the acting half position. Back to Pearson. Pearson quickly out to Schuster. Kick and chase to Schuster. It depends on the bounce. Tuilagi there with Penny. And forcing Penny to clear it dead. Good kick from Schuster. Good chasing from Schuster the kick. And Tuilagi also there. So Warrington will be forced to drop out from under their own post. And Martin Pearson's attempt in the first half only went 30 metres. How far can Lee Breers make? This perhaps the last 6 tackles of this game. As Breers almost a mix-up there between Amanga and Dean. Amona 25 metres out. Halifax going forward. Dean to Moana. Moana to the 20 almost. As Halifax look for the late try. Befitting if Halifax captain Carl Harrison could get his first try of the season, because he's run a second Halifax very, very close to that Warrington line. Jackson brought down 8 metres out. Halifax must get the try. You know, will do. Pearson to Schuster. Schuster to Tuilagi. Goes for his hat-trick. Ball comes loose. David Campbell blown the whistle. So the decision is a knock-on as Tuilagi is taking a big hit there from that 2-man Warrington tackle. Tialanga has been thrown over. It really was a thumping tackle by the Warrington defence. And it looks as though Warrington will get 2 points, which will take them away from the relegation scramble. And Halifax's top 4 up has taken a severe dent. And it didn't get any easier because they play St Helens away next Sunday. So the dying seconds of this game. And it needs something dramatic now for Halifax to seal the point. Or it's going to be the better team in the second half in defence, because Warrington haven't scored a try in the second half. Schoolthorpe underneath, Parsons out to the maybe chance for Halifax. Bulldog round the outside, brings Monroe on the inside. Monroe's first touch is ended 12 metres out. Halifax could still steal this game. Moana from acting half to Amone. Amone driving forward, needs 3 tacklers to stop him. Halifax perhaps looking to go to the left. Steele did, and then turned back inside. Steele still trying to go underneath. Last desperate attempt for Halifax. Now they're stacking men on the left-hand side. And they have numbers. Dean to Pearson. Pearson around the outside, but the mistake made. Pearson picks it up again. Pearson towards the line. Referee Campbell said it went backwards. So Halifax will get another chance. Could that be the lucky bounce he needed to keep them in this game? Moana all the way underneath. Can he get the ball down? On his back was referee David Campbell. Halifax supporters were cheering. Well, Moana has had a big game for Halifax since he came on. And Halifax will get 6 more tackles. So still, yet they may have chance. There's time to add on. Dean sees the front, out to Pearson, to Schuster. Schuster goes on his own. Halifax needing to set up the position back towards that left-hand side. Amanga. Amanga goes on his own from acting half, looking for the glory, but it's only taking time up on the clock. Dean. Dean, running the angles, brings Jackson back on the inside. Jackson. Back to Bulben. Bulben over the top. Bit of possession surrendered to Warrington. That could be Halifax's last chance. Desperation. And Porter, playing the old man, has gone down. The Tupu eating the seconds up on the clock. And Warrington, all they need to do now, surely, is keep the possession. George Mann, setting down 15 metres out. Richie Ayres, brought down. Foster receives treatment. One, middle of the field, that's away from 2. Back to 12 metres of halfway. Lee Breers. Well, time to show the strength, but not the biggest man on the field. Breers settling off on the edge. Last tackle. Warrington will look to Schoolthorpe to kick. Schoolthorpe being caught in possession. Flips one out the back door. Halifax need to move forward. Roper, Oyst, one in the air. Back to Bjork, bouncing with a win. Picked up by Gary Chambers, who loses it over the touchline. So, 6 tackle, Halifax looking to play it quickly. Pearson to Amanga. Amanga will take it forward. Wainwright back to tackle, back to Pearson. Pearson stepping inside. Halifax with 60 metres to go to the other end of the field. And still the clock ticks on. Tarrant wrestling in to Cooper. Steele wants to play quickly. Pearson to Harrison. Harrison back to Pearson. Pearson to Dean. Chances here. Moana on halfway. And Moana loses possession. Lee Penny comes to counter-attack for Warrington. Out to Cooper. Foster. Suddenly we could have gone that injury problem we had earlier. Cramp, I think. The Cooper setting them up. Warrington players going down like mountains. Halifax, the race is in defence. but panicking in the latter stages might cost them the game. Still up possession on 2 or 3 occasions. Forward pass surely to Rick Ayres. Ayres gets away with it. Brought down 18 metres out from the Halifax line. Warrington now with a chance to put the nail in the coffin. Halifax still defending while the clock's ticking out. Ian not brought down. 5th tackle. Willie Swan. Swan with a kick through, which is going to clear the Halifax in goal area. Forster takes out of play. So 8 up time on the clock. So 6 more tackles for Halifax. Well, I don't know when they're going to play this afternoon. But there's plenty of time gone. No time to do him. Monroe to make any impact there as he's bundled to the ground by 2. Halifax leading 1 touch of magic perhaps. Will put them to the end of the field. Harrison loses possession. Full stroke back. There's a knock on. From Warrington the penalty. Halifax will no doubt defend back by the penalty from Breers, who's still giving the head of Wellington perhaps one more go. Well, must be well into injury time now. Gary Chambers brought down 19 metres out. The Wellington supporters may have something to cheer about after this game. Not have much to cheer about so far this season. Looking to add to those 4 wins. Lee Breers turning back inside again. Picking it up with Winter, looking to play out the 6 tackles. Playing for time again. Lee Penny stepping towards that line. Good tackling again. Halifax hanging out in defence to the end. And now Lee Penny playing for time. Kick through from Sculford on the floor. Knock on against Halifax. Well, Martin Marner looks very disconsolate. Not surprisingly, Warrington with another scrum, another chance to attack the Halifax line. Goldthorpe back to the scrum again. Exercise. And Warrington's long losing sequence ends. Halifax players cannot believe it. They've done everything apart from score the target to steal this game for them. They were losing 24 points after 26 minutes. And at half time it was 24-12. They came out in the second half, showing them their business. Tuolanga and Jackson with tries for Halifax, close to converting, and Halifax were back in it at 24 points to 22. And in the last 5 or 6 minutes, all out assault on the Warrington line. The panic play put an end to Halifax's challenges. They lost the ball on too many occasions. Breers had a good drop goal in between, which settled Warrington down a bit. They did enough in defence as Halifax lost the possession. But encouraging the third Halifax not to roll over at 24 points down. Pull themselves back into this game and lose at Warrington in a frantic game by 25 points to 22.